Booklet. Wow, we're so happy to finally share this with you. And I want to give a big round of applause to the EcoMotion team for spending the whole summer of working on this. What we did was not only collect information on the booklet, but we knew that we wanted to do a version that is more digital for you. So what we did was ask the startups more questions than usual. And we've actually reached a really interesting amount of data, which I'm excited to share with you guys today. So the first thing is that we asked them all the founding years of the startups, all the tech mobility companies. And we understood that, and I'm happy to see it always also, that ever since 2012, when EcoMotion was built, there's been a significant amount of new startups and new companies in the field in Israel. And that is something that is very amazing to see. We are happy to announce that there are 612 live mobility technology companies in the smart mobility community today. And you asked who they are. So we can tell you that they're divided by these 5 sectors as we see them. When we say smart mobility, we mean autonomous and connected, mobility services, electrification and energy, drones and aviation, and maritime. Each sector has subsectors as we see them. So autonomous and connected has everything to do with the vehicle itself, technologies that are to be implemented inside the vehicle. And mobility services are those who are serviced, whether to OEMs, whether to cities, whether to consumers themselves. So anything to do with shared mobility, traffic management. And you can see here that there is also journey experience. When in autonomous and connected, there is passenger experience. What we mean in the difference there is that passenger experience is a type of technology to be implemented in a vehicle, and journey experience is a type to be even on the mobile and service to people. So it can be relevant to trains or even to municipalities. The third is electrification and energy. And as you can see, electrification and energy today has 15% of the live startups that are there today. We see here a gap where we think that more mobility startups should join this sector and bring more innovative solutions to the table, as it is one of the biggest challenges that are on the table today. Drones and aviation have all kinds of different technologies, from components to aerial vehicles, and maritime as well. As you can see, these are the sectors and subsectors as we see them today in 2020. These are subject to change all year long. Every year we kind of update them and do them according to things that weren't relevant before. This year in the mobility services, you'll see maintenance, you'll see payments, you'll see insurance tech, things that weren't there last year. And also in 2021, you will see things that will be relevant to them. These startups are divided into these rounds. So as you can see, we have really a lot of startups in pre-seed, seed, and round A. This means that we are going to see a lot more technologies coming into the market, a lot more headlines, a lot more investments to be made. We can say that most mobility service startups are in seed stage, and most autonomous and connected are equally in seed and in round A. We are proud to say, according to the data disclosed, I'm sure the number is much higher, that the startups in the community have raised over $24.5 billion to date. And this is really crazy, amazing amount. We have divided these even into the different sectors as you know them. Now, again, this is including also acquisitions and IPOs. As you can see that there is a large chunk of amount under autonomous and connected due to the Intel and Mobileye deal of $15.3 billion. But still, there is a lot of investments made. Again, under electrification and energy, everyone keeps speaking about this as the big challenge today, but we want to see more investments in that field as well. 2020 was an all-time high investment of $2.2 billion. Now, this exceeded all the other years, of course, again, except 2017 with the Intel Mobileye deal. And, you know, a lot of people have told us in the past few months, yeah, but these are all big amounts, big rounds. The Intel Mobileye deal of $1 billion, VIA did big rounds. And no, we wanted to go in and deep dive into the data and understand more about that. What we found is that investments from pre-seed to round A weren't actually that different from the prior years. So if you see in 2018, 17 deals were made for $88 million from pre-seed to A. In 2019, there was an all-time of 18 deals of $109 million. And in 2020, we haven't finished the year yet. We have a whole quarter ahead of us. 15 deals are already on record of a total of $88.8 million, again, only in this stage of pre-seed to round A. So as we can see, the all-time record high of $2.2 billion is not only on big rounds, but also on smaller rounds. So the EcoMotion booklet, first, before I dive deep into that and show you, the most exciting thing for us, I want to give a big shout out to people that helped make this happen. Will Simone, our community champion, which really helped a lot with this. Paula Sanchez and Adam, thank you so much for helping us in creating this and bringing this to life. So I'm going to show you the way to go into the digital version of the EcoMotion booklet. So, EcoMotion booklet 2020 digital version. This is nothing you've seen before. We've actually did this to match the current needs. So we understood that today, we need everything to be digital. So the booklet itself needed to be digital as well. And we created this for you to be able to use in your day-to-day. The first thing I highly suggest is to click here on full screen. Let me move myself down here. And then you can start flipping through. The first page you see is the whole index of the booklet. Now, everything is clickable, and you can actually go to different pages from inside here or use this menu where you can add and remove very easily. So we added here information about the whole EcoMotion community, which you can see here, and all the sectors and subsectors as I showed and talked about before. What's really important and easy access for you to use is the little buttons here on the bottom. Here you will find quick access to our newsletter, our main website, the virtual platform where I myself am always looking how to get back on it. So it's very easy to access back on here because, as I said before, the virtual platform is here to stay. It's our home, and we want to start using it on our day-to-day to find each other. And if you're not on the different platforms we have on Facebook and LinkedIn, I highly recommend you to add yourself onto there because this is our way to kind of share opportunities with the community. All the numbers, all the graphs, and all the information I've shared with you before, we've added on to the booklet for your use, for you to share, for you to use in your PowerPoint presentations to your management board. This is all here for you to use. And also there is more deeper information for you to dive into. Now, startups, we did a quick link to the EcoMotion Investors Map for those looking to raise under the raise sector. Now, if I want to do a quick jump, I can jump through here to the startup index. We took this to the next level for you guys. But past years, we wrote down all the startups from A to Z. Here we actually divided it into the subsectors, making it easier for you to find everyone, not needing us to kind of circle startups for you. But everyone is here according to the technologies, and you can really go through and find the relevant ones for you. Every time you click through, you see this blue thing popping up. This means that it's clickable. So when you go through the booklet here in the index, you can actually then click on a startup, then it will bring you to the relevant page inside the booklet. And for each startup, you have all the information about it, their subsector, the round, the website, which is clickable, and even the contact details of the person. By clicking on this, it will open a direct email. You can talk to them. If you don't have time to write an email now, what you can do is add yourself a note. Let's add a note here, and I can write to myself to book a meeting with the startup and then have it for me to read later. Now, another thing that is useful here is if I click the search button. By clicking on the search button, as you can see here, the note was added. By clicking on the search button, I can actually search, let's say, parking. If I'm not into going into the index and looking through that, if I do parking and then click on here, it brings me to the exact pages where parking shows. So this is very easy to flip through and run throughout the platform. Since this is the EcoMotion 2020 booklet, you still have information there regarding all of our partners, amazing partners that supported this event, and you can go in and read more and engage with them through the platform. Now, let's say you're traveling abroad and you want this version offline. No problem at all. You can download this to have a full publication offline, or even just have the current page if you want to print a specific technology and send it. So this is a really easy to use tool, and we're very, very excited to share it with you. And we really hope that it brings you value like we intend.